Today I'm here to talk to you about 22 habits that made me broke by 22. And I know what you're thinking. How can you be broke when you have a $3,500 laptop next to you? And that is not flex. I'm flexing my debt. I put that on a credit card because I was like, okay, if I buy this MacBook, I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to have all these little side incomes, entrepreneurships, but I need the MacBook first. That's what I need to achieve my wildest dreams. And then I got the MacBook and I was like, that probably wasn't the smartest decision for me to make. Because now I have to figure out how to pay this off and still pay my bills and still pay for the other things that are on my credit card. Shit. Reality set in real quick for me. Am I the first broke person to own a MacBook? No. Probably won't even be the last. But I know now I can't just buy things because I think they'll work out for me like that. That's not how it works. Out of all the 22 reasons of why I'm broke, probably about 10 of them reference this laptop. It was dumb of me. I was like always thinking like, oh my, look, think of me in a coffee shop with a MacBook. I've never been to a coffee shop with this MacBook. You know why? I'm really broke. I don't have a car. I don't have this and that, but I have a $3,500 computer. It just didn't make sense to me to be like up in there like, oh man, when I couldn't even afford the keyboard. Like, what am I doing? Who am I pretending to be? And we're gonna get into that in this video. So welcome to this channel, Broke Girl Makes Money. This channel is all about me finding financial freedom and how to invest, save, budget, and just make good money habits all around, because right now, for the past 22 years, I definitely have not been. I'm actually really in pain right now, thinking about all the things I've done wrong. But at least we can do better now, which is this channel. If you are currently on a financial journey, you see all these channels that talk about getting money, and it's really cool. She's like, oh my god, that's so dope. But then you're like, how do I do that though? And they explain it, but it's like they don't show you the process. I thought, why not make a channel for someone showing you the process of me becoming financially free, showing you the process of me paying off my debt, showing you the process of me creating different streams of income, because I want to show you guys we can get it. We just gotta try harder and not put ourselves in debt for appearances or because we're depressed. It'll be a mutual exclusive relationship where we're working together to become financially literate. And so the first thing we have here, I think it's a habit that I garnered in my formative years. And that habit, you say, is procrastination. Procrastinating on everything I've ever done in my entire existence. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably like, how does that relate to money? Well, procrastinating on paying bills. I've procrastinated on canceling Fabletics. And the amount of money I spend on Fabletics when I don't even like their leggings because they don't make my ass pop like that is ridiculous. I'm giving it for Christmas and birthday presents. I don't care if you don't like workout clothes. You will get them because I have $300 in credit. I'd buy a bunch of clothes and procrastinate on returning them, and then the return date was too late, and then now I had all these clothes I didn't wear. Like, I procrastinated in all these different ways because I was too scared to look at my finances and see how much I was making. Because to be honest, I've been living outside of my limits for my entire life. I always used to joke that like I spend money like I'm rich, and it's not funny when you're not rich. It's like actually sad, and it's showing that you have other problems, which we're getting into. Okay, the second one, eating out, Grubhubbing. This hasn't been as bad as of late. It was bad for a minute. I feel like a lot of young people can relate to this. I spent $17 on drinks twice over the past 2 weeks. You see, I don't live in like a really luxurious area, fancy place, but I made sure to go to the fanciest restaurant we have. By the way, their coconut rice shrimp, I would make love to that rice bowl. So delicious. Cook at home. Grubhub, once it gets to you, it's no longer hot. They might have forgot your drink, and you've been hungry for so long, you're not even hungry anymore. And these are not in the order of like the ones that like affected me the most. They're just all collectively have fucked me over. The third one is buying things obsessively. This is such a weird thing I do, but it's a definitely defense mechanism, and I definitely think that plays into a lot of the things I struggle with my mental health. And one thing I do to distract myself from feeling pain or hurt or like the reality that I'm living on this earth and I have to fight for myself. Like, I choose my future. That's scary. So I distract myself with body mist. And you know what you're thinking? What do you mean you distract yourself with body mist? I'll show you. Give me a second. You can't even see them, but you know, no one needs these mini body mists. I bought these 3 years ago. Not 3, maybe 2 years ago. Obsessively. And you think, oh, you just bought them. No, I would watch body mist reviews for hours. I'd buy things I'd see people get that I couldn't afford. So I would just watch those videos and just add another body mist to my collection. We can't forget the minis. Someone explain this to me. You can't. There was actually no reason for this financially, but it became up obsession. I was like, oh, give me this. It was cheaper than my perfumes. I'll show you those. Here's some of them. Then there's much more. That was a more expensive addiction. I couldn't afford that for long. Before I was like, can I afford my house to stay in it? Don't have one because I'm not financially free. No one needs these mini body mists. Not a single soul needs these. I obsessively bought underwear. I wasn't gonna say that because I'm ashamed. How do you obsessively buy underwear, you ask? I don't know. I'd buy those bunches you see on Amazon. You never know which thong you're gonna get. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why my brain is like that. Now I'm like, no. Buy. No, I'm not saying buy to these. I'm using these. I spent a couple $100 on these. But it's saying buy to these bad habits. Ooh, spray it a little first though. That you've lived with for so long. Like, no, I don't need these things. Money for me was an excuse to not heal. And you're probably like, how do you spend all this stuff? I had like 7 credit cards. So I was doing all these things to like raise my dopamine. And my recent most devastating obsession has been leggings. I've spent thousands on activewear. So I'm like, oh, I work out a lot. It's gonna help with getting my ass fat. It's gonna help with me being healthy and like loving my body. No, it's an obsession. It's how you distract yourself from pain. You don't need 30 pairs of fucking leggings. I'm so happy because yesterday Alpha Lee had a legging sale. I didn't get the mocha leggings even though I wanted to. I know you say they're $72 leggings. Why would you get them in the first place? You are in debt. And I would say to that, I make bad decisions financially. Hence this channel. Broke girl, trying to make some money. Number 4, keeping up with the times and trying to impress people. So long, I was just trying to like be that girl on Instagram. That's outfits looks good. Hair always looks, my hair never looked good. I remember this one job, people would be like, oh my, you dress so fly, so cute. Not knowing I could barely afford it. I was right. And I wasn't buying expensive clothes. I would shop at Forever 21, but I'd buy like $20 worth of clothes each time. And I was worried so much about how my appearance reflected me. But that could go deeper in being a black woman and whatever. But like, thought I mattered because of how I looked. And it's a fact you get treated completely different depending on how you look. And girl, I can waver. I can be looking good. I can be looking gross. So I was like, okay, I gotta go and drift out looking cute. But like, are you really dripped out if like you can't afford it? Like a lot of people want to talk about how some people that flex and so like, ooh, look at the outfits, look at this, are in debt. They're broke. They're spending all their money on their clothes. Whatever you want to do financially is up to you, but it's not smart to try and impress someone else with what you have because it's really not that impressive, to be honest. Because I promise you, most people are worried about what they have. But for the most part, the only person that should be impressed by anything you do is you. So I feel like if you're spending all this money to buy clothes you can't afford or stuff or things or go to vacations, whatever it is, to flex and like post, I'm in Aruba, knowing you can barely afford freaking toast in the morning. Are you impressing yourself? No, because that's not impressive. At least I wouldn't find that to be. I'd be like, damn, I worry so much what other people think about me. I'm not even putting myself first. I'm putting what they think and how they perceive me before how I perceive myself. And that's no way to live. So 5 is not sticking with things. In this, it was more things I would invest my money in. I didn't follow through with anything I wanted. Like this laptop. I bought it because I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this and work so hard. This will push me to do more YouTube videos. This has pushed me to write more. It didn't do any of that. The only thing that can push you is yourself. Getting something to motivate you is not smart. Like people ask, like, what do you need for YouTube? Do you have a phone? Do you have something to say? That's all you really need. When you start convoluting with all this extra stuff, it makes you even more not want to stick with things. Even my punching bag in the corner right there, I'll show you her. This thing right here, I bought that because I was sad and depressed. So I was like, okay, I need to get something to punch. And so I bought that on Amazon, and I've used that once. And I bought it like 2 months ago. I feel like I'm like a kid. You know when you tell your mom like, oh man, I like this, or I want to try this. The mom's like, okay, let me see you actually trying to work for it. I'm the kid that like is spoiled and like I give myself whatever I want because I want it. I'm interested in it. I'm like, okay, you can get it, you can get it, you can get it. But I haven't proven myself that I'm actually gonna stick with something. So I get things and then I don't stick with them. And it's like, I could have just not bought it. And then 6, I would overspend on credit cards. For so long, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna use a credit card that has no interest and then pay it off. And then I got addicted to that. And then sooner or later, I never thought I would do this, Gordon Ramsay. I never thought I'd be the girl that would pay any credit card debt. But you know what happened? I did. I had to start paying some credit card interest. Luckily, I did pay this laptop off before it got interest. But that was only because of the fact that we fell into a pandemic globally. That wasn't my doing that was paid off. The stimulus really stimulated this laptop, is what I'm saying. 7, new wig. Do this. Me looking a certain way is important to the things I'm trying to do. Like, I can't negate that. Like, it is important for the things I want to do in my future. But it's not what's most important. Like, I'm not trying to be a model. I remember I bought a red wig. This is so embarrassing. Because I knew that the guy I was talking to at the time liked redheads. If I could go back, I would definitely tell myself to love myself. Number 8 was no budget. I had no budget. I bought this budgeting book that was $40, which is just funny to me. You bought a budgeting book that's $40. You get the joke there. And I barely have used it. So 9 was not researching on healthy money habits and then also avoiding healthy money habits. Meaning, not only would I not like research like how to save or what to invest investing and when you're younger and stuff like that, I would also avoid them. So when I'd see a video explaining that, I'd be like, nah, I ain't gonna worry about that. Or if I got advice, I'm like, they don't know nothing. I would just like avoid anything that made me need to be disciplined in my finances. I avoided it at all costs. 10, I didn't track spending. I didn't write everything down. It's really important to write down everything you are spending and then categorize it. There are online systems to like let you do that, but I think for me, what I personally need to do is write down every single thing physically and see it out. Because I think that for me is gonna help me see so much more. Because when it's on the computer, I'm like, okay, cool. But when I have to write it down and I have to categorize everything, it's like, wow, that's crazy. 11 is leisure spending. So spending a lot of money when you're out with friends. My sister would be like, let's go here. And then she'd go to Starbucks and she'd go to Home Goods and when you're with her, like, okay, let's have fun. Yeah, this is fun. And she loves spending money. I feel like we both have that issue. We like spending money. We don't need to be spending. And it's easier to leisurely spend. Like, let's go here, let's go here, let's go here. You have to be honest with yourself. Like, oh, I can't afford here, here, and here. Like, hey, I can come with you, but I'm drinking water. If you want to hang out with people you care about, you can either suggest free things with them, or you can be like, hey, if I'm coming out to eat with you, I'm not going to eat. I'll like drink my water. I'll eat before I come and maybe bring a snack, put a snack in your purse. If I knew a friend that was like out with us and she was like, oh, I'm not going to spend my money. Don't worry about me. I'm just not going to spend, but I want to come out with you guys and have a good time. I would have so much respect for her more than if I found out she spent $20 on a dinner when she had negative 30 in her bank account. You got to prioritize your money. And I think friends, anyone that's close to you, would respect that and understand that. 12 was chasing money like it was running away. So for me, this means like I was working like 60-hour weeks, but I wasn't getting overtime because I was working a full-time job and a part-time job. And like I still couldn't figure out why I wasn't like making money like that. It's because I was prioritizing these jobs. I was making what, $11, $14 an hour. One job was closing. The other job is temporary. Both of these jobs, you can't go up in the ladder in these jobs. Temporary, closing. There was no reason to stay loyal to these jobs. There was no reason to focus all my time on these jobs. I should have taken some time off, been like, okay, 60 hours a week isn't gonna work with me. I need at least one day for myself. I was working every single day, 12 hours a day. It was too much. I was like, I need a day for myself where I can just not only chill, but I need time to work on my side hustles. If I'm always working for somebody else, making barely anything, I'll never have time to work for myself. And that's like the rat game. If you're so tired from work, hard to find time to work on yourself and work to for yourself. That's why so many people who are in deep poverty never get out of it, because they're making maybe 50 cents an hour, and so they have to work like 14-hour days, 7 days a week, and that leaves barely no time to do anything else but sleep. And that's why you have to figure out how important it is to sacrifice some things you have now for what you want in the future. So meaning, if I take a couple days off work, that also may mean my money's gonna go down. So what can I spend less on? Gotta make those sacrifices. And I wasn't. 13, I was focusing on other success. I feel like I was always so focused on other people doing well and be like, oh, I could be like this. I would even tell like my family, I'd be like, oh my God, this person's doing this. And I'd see so many trends on YouTube that I thought about starting. I was like, oh my God, this is like years ago. I was like, what if people do the makeup tutorials that makeup artists do on YouTube, beauty gurus do on YouTube? Like, what if they did that and filmed them redoing their tutorial? And that became a trend. And I was like, what if I made a foot fetish video? I feel like that would get like 1 million views. And someone did it, it got like 1 million views. Like, I would say to do all these things, but I never would do them. And then I'd be like, oh my God, these people are doing so good. It's like, because your ideas are great. Stop being pussy. When I saw that, I was like, okay, meow. I'll bark, woof woof, because this is not good for me. Like, I really need to boss up on my ideas because they're not bad. I just don't follow through with them, so I never find out if they're even a little bit good. 14, mindless social media scrolling. I would mindlessly look at social media, and so as someone that wants to be a content creator on social media, this is really bad because instead of creating content, I was more consuming it. And you can do both. I think it's really important as a content creator to see what other people are doing, not to copy, just to see what's like trending or what's important or what people like to see. But when all you do is consume content and you're like, oh, same with the last one, like, oh, I should be like that. You have an idea. And someone else does it and you're like, oh, I should have done that. It's like you're always consuming things, but you're not creating anything. And even if you don't want to be a content creator, it's like you're taking all this time out of your day to look at things you spend like 2 hours on when you could spend at least half of that time. I'm not saying don't look at Instagram to look at somebody ass sitting good, or don't look at TikTok to laugh a little bit. I don't look at Twitter to be like, that's so fucking funny. I'm not saying don't have those things to enjoy. I'm just saying spend some of that time reading a book that teaches you something. Spend some of that time researching a topic you want to learn more on. Spend some of that time doing something else, because social media can drain you. Number 15 was depressed thinking. I'd be like, okay, I might die soon. Probably I'm going to. So like, it doesn't matter if I purchase these pair of shoes, this bag. It doesn't matter because I'm not not gonna be here to see it hit my account. That's really sad. Like, I was just like, it doesn't matter what I spend or what I do because I don't plan on being here for long. That's a really sad way to think. And I feel like a lot of people go into really bad things or do really destructive things, some stuff, because they have that view. And now I'm like, I'm choosing to live, I'm choosing life, and I'm just like, I wish I didn't let my thinking at a certain time derail me from my path. Because when you realize that like your emotions are visitors, your feelings will happen, but once you learn to control yourself in those depressive states, like, okay, I'm depressed, but that doesn't give me excuse to not be disciplined in my spending. You have to be mentally strong enough to defeat those demons and that struggle you feel in yourself, to realize, okay, I might not feel good today, but I remember when I didn't feel good a couple months ago, and then I felt good again, and I know that I can and I will feel good again. And when you feel that in a depressive moment, I think it eases any bad habits you will do, because like, okay, I could do these destructive habits, but like months down the line, future me is like in a better place, is gonna be like, wow, I wish I respected what I could be instead of what I was at the time. 16 is not sleeping enough or oversleeping. Sleep is so important. Like, you know, it's people like, hustle, don't sleep, just worry. No, you need your sleep. Sleep is honestly one of the most healing things your body naturally does. And then oversleeping was even worse, because it's like you sleep more, but then you feel groggy. So when I'd oversleep, I'd be like, damn, I got all this sleep, but I don't feel like I slept at all. And because I wasn't sleeping, I'd be at 4 a.m. shopping online. That was my favorite time to spend money, like 4 a.m. I just buy dumb stuff. 17, I would overeat or undereat. Your physical health is so important and affects every area of your life. So if you're overeating, you're spending more money on food, and then when you're undereating, you're not eating enough to fuel yourself, so you're not really have enough energy to go hard at your side hustles or your job even, and you just have low energy. Same with overeating, you feel low, lethargic, which is not good. When your health isn't good, nothing else can be good. Health does well, baby. 18, no investments. I was not investing. I didn't know how to invest into like a broad index fund, a Roth IRA account, all these other accounts that you can invest in and start putting money in. You don't need to be rich with. I didn't want to look into it. I was like, I don't, whatever. It's for the rich. It's for the elites. Like, no, it's for people that like you who want to have a retirement fund. 19, not prioritizing my mental health. This was a big one for me. When I don't prioritize my mental health, everything around me goes to ish. Like I said, with the depressed thinking, when you're depressed and like, oh, I'm not gonna live long, you could make really bad choices in your present, not knowing in the future you could feel better, and you will. When you don't prioritize your mental health, you go to these obsessive spending habits, and you do this and that, and you can tell how kind of all of these 22 habits relate to each other. That's why when you start solving a couple habits, a lot of the other ones start dwindling. It's called habit stacking. Certain habits will lead you to certain other habits, and healthy habits will lead you to other habits. Unhealthy habits lead you to other unhealthy habits. 20 was not prioritizing my physical health, not being consistent working out. Physical health is like your mental health. You need it to be good to carry on with life. If your physical body isn't livable, you won't be alive. So it doesn't matter how much money you make. I don't care how hard you're hustling, how busy you are. If you break down, your body breaks down, you can't even experience your wealth. Take care of your physical and mental health. 21 was not prioritizing multiple streams of income, but prioritizing my job. And this is really bad because was at a time where my YouTube was growing, my side hustles were growing, I was getting sponsorship, and I was not prioritizing those. I was not being smart with my time or prioritizing the things that could lead me to a financially free future. Like, an average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So I wasn't prioritizing the things that were getting me the first income. At the time, I probably had like 3 streams, a job and 2 side hustles. I wasn't prioritizing the side hustles that could branch off into more streams of income, which I'm not saying don't prioritize your job, because how you pay bills, pay for food and all that stuff, but it's when you use your job as an excuse not to do other things. And then 22 was not prioritizing myself. Prioritizing yourself is being like, hey, I don't have the money right now, I'll catch you when I do, or hey, I can't. That's actually not smart for me to do. I cared too much about how people viewed me, so I was like, no, I want to act like I have it when I don't. I was prioritizing the idea of me. I was prioritizing how I wanted people to think of me. I wasn't prioritizing myself, and all of these habits are a reflection of that. And this channel will be me breaking all these habits, become financially free by 23, baby. That's our new goal, because at 22 I'm broke. I will admit it, and I'm not proud of it, because I've had so many blessings in my life that I didn't have to be broke right now. But like, God's been like here, and I've been like, I don't know how to catch things. Like, I've been dodging my blessings. And when you realize that, like, oh shit, I'm the problem, that's when you know it's time to fix it. This is this channel, me fixing it. And I have at least 22 things to start on, so I'm gonna get to it right about now. Shit.